morning, children. Much better. Welcome. You're in for a really special treat for our Veterans Day Assembly. Welcome, faculty, and we also have some special people in the room that I'd like to recognize before we get into our program. Our Superintendent Slentz, who attends all Springhurst events. Thank you. Good morning. Board of Education Trustee Bill Bass, thank you for coming out this morning. I'd also like to recognize Jed Ilani and Erica Malco, PTSM. We're going to get started with our program. At this time, I'd like to invite up the following students to assist with the Pledge of Allegiance. June Ilani, Tala Portwood. When you hear your name, come up and join Dr. Brown, okay? So June, come on, June. Tala, Samantha, Declan, Barrington, Tito, some have last names, some don't. Valentina Vidal, Valerie Burgess, Winona Libby, Joseph Capasso, Mimi Muldoon, and Faye Mentor. All right, children, if you're that are seated, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance as we do in the mornings. Hands over our hearts if you participate in that. And we're going to start after 1, 2, 3. Thank you. You may be seated. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to turn it over to Mr. Hertzberg for a string quartet.
Thank you, Dr. Brown. We have 4 very talented students that are going to play America. So this is Viviana, Tyra, Julian, and Cassidy. They're going to play America.
So our 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade students have been working on a song for you that's dedicated to you today and honoring you, and it's called Because of You. So, very quietly,
Because of you, we're feeling strong.
I'll echo the beautiful voices of our children. Because of you, so many like you, is the reason why we enjoy the freedoms and liberties we do here in the United States. The significance of this assembly, I hope, for our students is to recognize that although they're 4.5 through 10 and they get a day off for Veterans Day, it's because of brave veterans, servicemen and women like yourselves, who paid the ultimate sacrifice for what we can enjoy in this country. And so today, it's a small token of our gratitude for the sacrifice you made for us to enjoy what we do here. And so we hope you'll enjoy this assembly, and we thank you for the service that you have provided on behalf of all of us. So Veterans Day, as you may know, children, is celebrated on November 11th every year in the United States. It's an opportunity for us to celebrate and to honor Americans' veterans who have served America's military. On Veterans Day, it's incredibly important to take an extra moment to show military members gratitude for their patriotism, love of our country, and their willingness to serve and sacrifice to keep us all safe. That's a pretty big deal. Would you agree? And so at this time, we would like to introduce the veterans. When I call your name, can you please stand and wave? And students who have a family member on stage or someone in your family who is serving or has served, please also stand to be recognized because you also paid a sacrifice. Ben Ilani, student, 3rd grade, June Ilani, U.S. Air Force. Please stand, Ben. Thank you. Jeremy Portwood, 4th grader, Tala Portwood. U.S. Marine Corps, parachute rigger, or Air Crew Survival Equipment Technician. Please stand. Jeremy and Tala. Where's Tala? Thank you. Sergeant Frank Farrington. 4th graders Tito and Declan. 5th grader Samantha Farrington. U.S. Army Active Duty. Thank you. Thank you. Ronaldo, I apologize in advance, I'm going to do my best. Carolyn Stacy. 4th grader, Valentina Vidal, U.S. Air Force. Sean Burgess, 4th grader, Valerie Burgess. U.S. Navy for 6 years, operating nuclear reactors on an aircraft carrier. Thank you. Frank Libby, 4th grader, Winona Libby, U.S. Army, graduated from West Point, flew in ambulances in Stuttgart, Germany, with the 421st Air Ambulance Company as a rescue pilot at Fort Meade, and also served as a National Guard helicopter pilot. Thank you. Joe Picasso, 4th grader Joseph Picasso, U.S. Air Force. Tom Muldoon, 4th grader Mimi Muldoon, U.S. Navy, 1966 to 1969. Harold Mentor Jr., 4th grader, Faith Mentor, U.S. Army Reserve Combat Engineer, 13 years, 1 year in Iraq, 2004 to 2005. Thank you. Bill Florin, Commander of Dobbs Ferry American Legion Post, U.S. National Guard, 29 years. Liz Draper, Dobbs Ferry Village Clerk, U.S. Marine Corps. final veteran to recognize today, someone you all know very well. He greets you in the morning. He walks around the building. He gives you a friendly smile. You're right, it's Security Bob. Security Bob, Mr. Robert Leeds, our very own Springhurst security guard, proudly served as a member of the United States Army. Robert joined the Army and was assigned to their elite unit, 1st Division, also known as the Big Red One, where he was eventually promoted to sergeant. This unit was a special forces unit that was responsible for rescuing captured U.S. soldiers during the Vietnam War. Sergeant Leake and his Special Forces unit were responsible for many successful executed missions, resulting in the recovery of captured U.S. soldiers. During his time in Vietnam, Sergeant Leake and his camp were eventually overtaken by Vietnamese forces, resulting in Sergeant Leake becoming a prisoner of war. He was eventually rescued by other members of the United States Special Forces. Sergeant Leake would receive numerous medals and accolades for his honorable and courageous service to his country. We can please now salute and thank all the veterans. Okay, at this time we had many really thoughtful questions for the veterans. It was a really tough job for Dr. Brown to select a few questions because of time. We couldn't select everyone, but I wanted you to know that your questions were really thoughtful, and so we selected a few. When I call your name, can you please come up and you'll have an opportunity to read your question to our veterans, okay? So all students, when I call your name, please join me up front. Faith Mentor, please come on up. Henry Enrich, Levi Amber, Claire Gutman, Sophia Youssef, James Lafferty, Victoria Morales Perez. Can I please have you all join me? Thank you.
How long were you deployed and where were you?
Ooh, Vic, that's a tough question. I was deployed in Iraq, stationed in Mosul, and I was there for a year and a month. Came back home, and the only thing I was looking for was some McDonald's.
Thank you. I think the children all love McDonald's as well. Henry?
How does it feel to know that you served for your country?
How does it feel to know that you serve for your country? Anyone want to take that one? Security guard?
It feels like if you did something for your country, you feel great about it.
Levy? Levi?
What was your role where you were stationed?
What was your role where you were stationed? Anyone want to take that one?
So I got to do something pretty cool. I was a parachute rigger. So what we would do is we would take the parachutes out of aircrafts, we'd stretch them out on a big table. We'd check them, make sure they didn't have any holes in them, any tears or rips or anything like that. And we'd pack them all back up when they were real safe, and we'd put them back in the airplanes. And then anytime a pilot had to eject, we were the ones that made sure that they got to the ground safely.
Thank you. Claire?
How did you contact and communicate with your family and friends when you weren't home?
Well, we mostly communicate with letters. We get letters from home. There was no internet, no iPhones or anything like that. So we'd try to make a phone call occasionally. And sometimes we'd get gifts from home, like cake or cupcakes. It usually came, by the time we got it, it was crumbs, so everybody would kind of reach their hand and grab a handful of crumbs, and we'd eat that. But we were always very happy to get a letter from home and to communicate and find out what was happening back home. So it made us feel really good, but that was the only way. Sometimes the letter wouldn't get there for weeks at a time, so by the time you heard the news, it was already old news, but we was glad to have it anyway.
Sophia,
Which war or country did you serve in?
Hi, I'm Ben. I served in the U.S. Air Force, and I was deployed to Iraq, also to Mosul for 1 month shy of a year.
Did you get to know the civilians in the country where you were serving?
Hi, everybody. I'm Frank, also known as Booba to Winona. First, thanks for putting this on. It's very important to recognize this day and to recognize everybody on this stage for giving back to their country. It's an important thing to do, and I know that you all appreciate that. And special thanks to Jeremy for rigging those parachutes that I used to jump, because you don't know who's fixing them and who's inspecting them, but it's really important when you go out the door. I served in Germany for a few years, flying air rescue helicopters. Everybody know what an ambulance is? Yeah, this one was a helicopter ambulance. So it's the same thing, except we would fly from where the accident was to the hospital. So living in Germany, first thing you got to figure out is how to speak the language, which is kind of difficult. You learn how to go to a restaurant and order a beer mostly, but you figure out the language. And you get to know the people, because we were flying not just simply for the military, but also for the civilians, and they were very, very grateful and appreciative. And so Americans got to know Germans, Germans got to know Americans, and it was a wonderful experience. Thank you.
Can you serve in more than one branch of the military?
Short answer, yes. You can serve. When you get in the military, you have a contract for a certain period of time. When that contract's up, you can actually transfer to another branch. Some people do Air Force, then Army, Marines, then Army, so it does actually happen quite a bit.
thank you. Can we please give our students a round of applause for asking these questions? Thank you for that. At this time, I will be calling some students up to present cards of appreciation to our veterans. When I call your name, can you please join me up front? Jack Farrington, Mary Baruch, Charlie Panzer, Elliot Barden.
Dear veteran, thank you for protecting our country and keeping us safe, and for risking your lives. Sincerely, Jack Farrington. Dear all veterans, I am so happy that you are here. I thank you for sacrificing your lives for us. Without you, we would be nothing. You deserve something special. We are going to be in danger without you. There are so many reasons you're special. You deserve to be here. You deserve everything. You're the most special. Thank you for keeping us safe and protecting our country. Love, Maylee. Dear veterans, happy Veterans Day. Thank you for everything you do. Thank you for keeping us safe, and you work so hard for protecting us. I appreciate you protecting us from harm, and you really work hard for us. Thank you for everything. I also have a veteran thing. So V is for veterans, E is for excellent, T is for tough, E is for extra hard work, R is for respectful, A is for awesome, N is for nice, and S is for super. To a beloved veteran. Dear veteran, thank you for your service. We appreciate you. Thank you for protecting us and our country. I take Veterans Day very seriously because my great-grandparents served in World War II. Your courage is amazing. I think whatever job you had, if you're a retired police officer, firefighter, used to be in the Army or Navy, you did a great job. Every person still alive in America thanks you eternally. You are, in all our hearts, have an amazing Veterans Day. Again, thank you for your service. From Elvis.
Beautiful job. At this time, veterans, I'd like you to acknowledge next to your chairs, you all have a little gift bag, cards that our students participated in made with love for all of you. So we'd like to extend a little small token of appreciation on behalf of the children, faculty, and staff of Springhurst. So you did an outstanding job, children. We're closing out now. There are lots of people to thank. This is my first Veterans Day Assembly at Springhurst, and I can tell you this would not have gone this smoothly without Ms. Coulihan and Ms. Moshe. Is Ms. Moshe here? She's in a meeting. They organized and coordinated everything, so thank you. There are some other people to thank as well. Christina Del Pilar, Jennifer Paraglia, Mr. Bastone, Bill Florin from the American Legion, Ms. Cole and Mr. Hertzberg for preparing our students with the musical presentations they did today, Ms. Galati, Mr. C, Ms. Bargan Hewlett, and their students for making the beautiful boxes where we collected cards for veterans. All of you, amazing students, amazing faculty and staff, for showing your pride and for expressing your gratitude and for showing your patriotic spirit this morning. You'll see so many faculty and staff donning their red, white, and blue in homage to all of you, so we thank you. We could not also pull this out with before setting up with the custodial staff, clerical staff, our central office and board members, and certainly last but not least, all of you, the veterans. Someone else? Okay.
I'm a local guy that says a lot of things. I'd like to for our first year, our new principal. And thank you for having us up again, because the veterans really appreciate this program, especially with all the smiling faces out there. 700, you got 350 each time. Thank you again.
Anna Farrington and the PTSA for the balloon arch. I'd like to invite the veterans to remain behind if you're able. We have a small reception for you after the K2 assembly. Again, thank you so very much for your service, for taking time out of your busy day to come and spend with our wonderful children. As you can see, they're so appreciative, and so are we, so thank you.